Okay, how to answer every objection. Anybody see that article I wrote? About how to answer every objection. One guy in the back, he goes, he wears a Claude Whitacre t-shirt, I think. No. I wrote an article about how to answer every objection, okay? And although I'm going to have to kind of change it, simplify it, and make it faster here, basically what it is when people give you an objection, and I know a lot of you guys already know this. This is for the 3 of you that don't. Red. And others. No, not at all. Okay, when they give you an objection, now there are some legitimate objections. Somebody comes in, they're looking for directions, and you give them directions, and oh, that's kind of a nice vacuum cleaner, and they walk out and buy. That's because they weren't looking for a vacuum cleaner. Okay, if they come in, and I have the one objection that I completely understand. They come and they say, well, I have to talk to my husband, because I have to tell you, I wasn't showing him a $79 vacuum cleaner. Okay, I was showing him a $700 or $800 vacuum cleaner. So I like that they're going to talk to their husband because I love my wife, but I don't like surprises. So if she would buy something like that without mentioning it to me, I would not get angry. I would be fascinated. I would say, that's fascinating, honey, that you would decide to do that without even mentioning it to me. So I understand that objection. But most objections are they just don't think it's worth what you're asking. They're not going to say that. Nobody ever says, I don't think it's worth what you're asking. They say things like, well, I'm going to have to check, and I'm going to have to check I have to measure my house to see how many rooms of carpeting I've got because I can't remember right now, and see how big the carpet is. And I don't know if I really have steps or not. I can't remember that. So I'm going to have to go home and check all these things, and then I'll let you know. And I can't decide right now because I might be getting laid off next year. And, we found out when we were selling in the home, we caused more layoffs than anybody in the world because they couldn't get it because they just got laid off. Okay, 70% of the people in our town got laid off the day I got there. It was just a fascinating thing. And they couldn't keep their appointments because they had a funeral. We caused a lot of deaths and a lot of layoffs, and I'm surprised the police never came after us. Anyway, I'm sorry. The reason that they say that they want to think about it is because they don't want it bad enough to say yes. Okay, they don't want it bad enough to say yes right now. They're at 7 or at 8 or at 9, just like no offense, my rainbow friend that got them this far and for some reason just didn't go to, 2 more inches to the top so that they would go, okay, I'll go ahead and get that. That makes perfect sense. He didn't quite get them there, so then they came to me. Okay, well, the same thing in our store. If we don't quite get them there, they're going to go someplace else. And we've discussed all the different ways of doing that. So they have to see the value. They have to want it. They have to feel it specifically for them. And the way that you keep them from shopping is in a couple of those ways. The first way is if it's specific for them, they don't feel like they need to shop. If you show them a couple of different machines, they don't feel like they need to shop because they've shopped while they were there. They don't necessarily have to go 5 different places. They want to see 5 different things. If you have 5 different things in your store, you win. Okay, because all you have to do is show them these 5 different things, 5 different models. Maybe this is for you, maybe this is not for you. Let me show you the differences and advantages of each, and you tell me what you think. Okay, after you've done that 2 or 3 times, they feel like they've really shopped. Okay, another thing that you do is to keep them from shopping is give them something like this. Okay, because now what happens is when they leave, they don't really. I mean, it's only a vacuum cleaner, guys. I mean, do you know how much they actually think about it when they leave? This is how important this is in their life. When they walk out of our door, if they didn't buy, or if they did buy, the husband looks at the wife, or the wife looks at the husband, and the wife says, "What did you think?" And the husband says one of 2 things, or one of 4 things actually. He goes, "I wish we would have got it. I wish we wouldn't have got it. I'm glad we got it. I'm glad we didn't get it." And you know what? That's pretty much the end of that conversation forever. Okay? They don't go home and do research. Teachers do. Okay? Teachers do research. Fortunately, we have retail stores. They come into our store at the end of the research. Okay? They've researched for years and years and years. Of course, what they want now has been out of production for 6 years. But they come in exactly knowing what they want. And as long as they know what they want, then I have the ability to show them something completely different. But they've already shopped, and so they know what they want, and now they're ready to buy. Okay. The magical phrase that makes people buy. This is closing. Whenever I start talking, I used to do little training seminars when I was selling in the home, and I did a little bit for some friends of mine. They asked me to talk to their salesmen, and they were talking about closing. And whenever I started talking about closing, everybody's ears started perking up because they thought, this is the secret. Okay? This is exactly when they're going to buy. This is when the decision is made. No. The decision is not made while you're doing this. I had a gentleman, a friend of mine asked me, he says, I want you to talk to one of my salesmen. He just missed the sale. Okay? We were selling TriStar vacuum cleaners in the home. He says, he just missed the sale. And I said, well, I'll talk to him. I said, okay, you missed it. I said, that's okay. Not everybody buys. I said, he goes, yeah, I need to know a close I can use, because they said they want to think about it. What should I say? And in my infinite wisdom, I said, well, tell me what happened. Give me the whole thing. He goes, well, I came in and I went out to get the machine and I come back in and the husband is sitting there watching TV and I said, could you turn off the TV? And he goes, well, I can't. There's a game on right now, but that's okay. Go ahead. And so I said, oh, okay. So I take the machine out of the box, and I'm showing it to the wife. And the wife says, okay, well, I've got to get supper ready now, but you go ahead. He goes, oh, okay. So he's doing a demonstration to the husband who's watching TV, and the wife in the kitchen who's going, like that every time he said, no, can you hear me right? Isn't that exciting? Like that. So I got all the way down. I showed him the machine. Amazingly, one was watching TV, another one was in the other room. He says, and I showed him the machine, and at the end, they said, that's interesting. We'll think about it. So what should I have done? What clothes would have worked on them? Okay. None. Those people were gone long before. Anyway, so the best, this is my close. You guys want to write this down? Because this is really good. Okay. When I'm done, yeah, Mr. Silverman is sitting there in his infinite wisdom knowing what I'm going to say, and he's going, because he knows it's not really that good. This is my close. I say this, I say, is that okay? And they say, yes. I say, okay.